Guilt, shame, fear, anxiety. They're not just emotions, they're chains, and most of us are wearing them. What if I told you these feelings aren't signs of weakness, but secret keys to freedom? Here's the twist. They're not here to crush you, they're here to teach you how to rise. Have you ever been kept awake at night by the weight of guilt? Or felt like fear and anxiety were running the show in your life? You're not alone. So many of us are fighting these invisible battles. And the hardest part, it feels like no one sees how much we're struggling. Think about the moments in The Pursuit of Happiness when Chris Gardner fights to keep going. Or picture Ash Barty walking away from tennis at the height of her career, not out of fear, but to find freedom and purpose. These are stories of transformation. Even the hardest struggles can lead to breakthroughs. So here's the truth. Guilt, shame, fear, and anxiety aren't your enemies. They're signals, signs that it's time to grow, heal, and change. What if the things you're most ashamed of could actually become your greatest sources of strength? What if the fear you're running from is actually pointing you toward the life you're meant to live? I've been there too, feeling like guilt was eating me alive, like shame was a shadow I couldn't escape, and fear, it was always whispering that I wasn't good enough. But here's what I discovered. Guilt isn't about punishment, it's about reflection. Shame thrives in secrecy, but sharing your story takes its power away. Fear is a survival mechanism. Learn to work with it, not against it. Anxiety, it's a signal to pause, breathe, and realign. For years I let these feelings run my life, but one day I stopped. I asked myself, what am I afraid of? Why am I ashamed? What do I feel guilty about? And that's when the change began. Write it out. Journaling your guilt and fears is like shining a light on the darkness. Share. A trusted friend or community can remind you you're not alone. Act in spite of fear. Fear doesn't mean stop. It means go with caution. If you've been feeling trapped, it's time to take the first step. Break the silence, break the cycle, and break free. Drop a comment below. What's the one thing you've learned about overcoming these emotions?